Hey everybody, good morning, happy Saturday. Is anybody else awake right now? I am seriously struggling with this time change. So I don't even know what time it is usually, but I literally woke up maybe half an hour ago and I was catching up on the 90 days of hustle that Krista has been doing. Awesome job, by the way, Krista. I am loving this content. So I may not be there every day to see it, but I usually use Saturdays to catch up on lots of different things that I've missed out on throughout the week. So I'm catching up on my 90 days of hustle, and I watched Krista's awesome video about from Wednesday about her top 5 takeaways from the Diamond Bound event that we went to. So she called me out and she said, hopefully Jill will do her own video with her top 5 takeaways. And part of why I just decided to get on this morning and do it is one of my top 5 takeaways. So I'm going to get to that, like the third or the fourth one. But as you can see, I am not wearing any makeup. I really just kind of brushed through my hair so it didn't look too crazy because I just decided to get on here and do it. And that's life, isn't it? Like, I have time right now, so why shouldn't I do a video? I'm not going to print myself. And we're real, we're here, and we just go with the flow. So I'm going to share my top 5 takeaways from Diamond Bound 2018. And if any of you get on or watch this later, hopefully this will be helpful to you. And then I probably will use this video and share it in my other group too, because I think it's going to be helpful. So number 1, I'm going to kind of go through who said this stuff, because this is obviously not my content. There were like 20 leaders there, and they all had such great stuff talking about the ways that they've made it to Royal Crown, Diamond or above. And honestly, one of my overall takeaways, this doesn't really play into like anybody individually, is the fact that none of them have a secret formula. They just have their own personality. And they have come into this business from every walk of life, and they have their own motivations for why to build a business. But they all got there by really just honing in their own skills and doing what feels right to them, and the skills that they already have, and expounding upon those. And they have built their businesses from being themselves. So the beauty of that is that we all have our own personality. And a challenge to me as a leader is to help myself and people on my team, like you guys, find out what is your like perfect personality for building this business. What skills and stuff do you already have that you can transfer over? So that's kind of what Lindsey Moreno got into. But overall, like, there's really no one size fits all. Everybody comes at this a different way. And they build a business of people who are like-minded to them because of their uniqueness. So to me, that's awesome. And that's exciting because we are all completely different. We're all completely unique. And that gives me hope that I can just continue to find more people like me and like you guys who like me for me. And they are like, hey, let's build this business together. So number 1 of my top 5 takeaways, Monique McLean spoke, and she talked about dreaming big and growing bigger. So I got my notes right here. I've flagged all these pages for you guys, but she said the first step to any dream, getting one or following one, is growth. And so we need to embrace growth in our lives. We need to realize that we have to continually be interested in growing until the day we die. That's what keeps us going. But how to actually make that growth is to apply what you learn and put it into practice. So it's no good if we just go out there and we watch videos like this, or we go to speaker events, or we read a bajillion books. We actually have to start implementing what we're learning into our business to make our business grow. And one of the things that she really struck me that she said, because I wrote it down and I started it hardcore, is put as much time and energy into growing your strengths as you put into growing your weaknesses. And that really made me pause for a minute, because everybody out there talks about, oh, if you're weak in this area, you got to improve this. And if you're weak over here, you got to work on this. And this is how you do this. I've never really thought about the fact that, like, okay, I already do have strengths in this business. And am I really still trying to improve those? Even though it's a strength, you can always improve something even further. So putting as much time and energy into growing your strengths as you do into your weaknesses, I think is just a really great way to look at what you're doing, because that also goes back to not having like the lack mindset. It's more of an abundance mindset, because you're thinking, oh, I already have some of this and I'm going to keep on that path and get more of it as well. So I think that's a really great one. She, of course, talked about writing down what you want to grow in, to keep it at the forefront of your mind, keeping those things, kind of like why you would have a vision board, why would you keep like a dreams list, because that way if you're always seeing it and you're always focusing on it, you know exactly where you're going. Let's see. She also said, too many times we put the responsibility of our success onto other people. And instead, you should be thinking, I want to be responsible for my own success instead of anyone else taking credit for it. So this goes for your upline or your downline. And I thought that was great, because I don't know about you guys, but I have put a lot of hours into my Young Living business over the past 7 years, and I don't want anybody else taking credit for that. Nobody else was staying up late putting together stuff to take to a class, writing my script notes, making sure I have samples for people, organizing all the things that I have done, doing videos. I don't know about you guys, but at times it's exhausting. I'm the only one doing that. That's me. That's my work, and I want the credit for it. So I just really love that she said that. Nobody else is responsible for my own success. That's just on me. And you guys are responsible for all of your own success. That's on you. So Monique McLean, I liked her stuff. And I just realized how my top 5 takeaways aren't really a takeaway. It's like the top 5 people that I liked. So I'm kind of just giving you a rundown of all of their notes, because I thought they had some great stuff to say. Lindsay Leaf, excuse me, talked about leading when life gets hard. And honestly, you guys, the more speakers I heard, the better, the more excited I was, because they just talked about real stuff and real problems, and life gets really hard, and we can't always feel our best selves if things are falling apart in our relationships or our job or our marriages. And so I just thought that was such a great way to title her story. But she just talks about, basically, there's always going to be something and we have to push through it anyway. So she had decided, she actually said this quote, if my life was going to be messy, I wasn't going to hide it. And so what that struck me, because quite a few other people, maybe 2 or 3 other people at Diamond Bound, talked about being authentic and sharing your story and how that's going to connect you to people. And this was along those lines, because she actually built her business by being vulnerable and sharing about the feelings kit. Like, that just skyrocketed her business. Once she really honed in on, like, okay guys, I'm dealing with some emotional problems in my life. This kit is rocking my world. People just really latched onto that. So she found her thing. And she said, people want to know that you can be screwed up and succeed. And I loved that, because don't we all? Like, that's why we love the rags to riches stories. We love people who are huge overcomers. They have some kind of crazy thing that screwed them up in their childhood, or they've been left poor and destitute, and they came back to the top. And we love hearing that stuff, because we know that at some point, like, they didn't do everything perfectly, but they still did it. So that's really cool. Let's see. She said to, once you kind of grow more, use your hardship to connect with people, and how leadership is not about the appearance of perfection. So I take that as a personal challenge in my life too, because I do like to do things perfectly. I'm a very particular person. I'm a green personality. And so I do like to dot all my I's and cross all my T's on everything that I'm doing, because that's my level of completeness, and that makes me feel good with a job well done. But there are times too where maybe I'm putting off an air of, like, the fact that you have to be perfect to do what I'm doing, and that's actually not right. I screw stuff up all the time. People ask me for notes, I forget to send them. People ask me for information on classes, I forget to send it. I get so busy with other things that I fall behind. And so I'm certainly not perfect, and I know you guys aren't either. But how do we use that to show people that you don't have to be perfect to be doing this? And this is how. you jump on a video as soon as you think about something and you share it with your team. And she also talked about how brokenness isn't our badge, and we start in the valley, but we don't stay there. So that's something that another person had hit on too. Sharing your, make sure you're not sharing your mess, you're sharing your message. So how something can get you down, but it's not about that. The focus of our story is not on what got us down. It's on what we did to get around that, or get over that, or get past that in our lives. Okay, the next person here, top in my top 5 was Melissa Pepping, and she talked about what does Royal Crown Diamond mean to you, because for her it means different things. It's going to mean different things to me as well. But she talked about having gets versus goals. Like, are we just out there to try to get possessions and get a new house and get a new car and get this and this and this for like a status symbol, or are we actually talking about goals and growth in our personal lives? And so I wrote down how we should be going for impact over income, and we should be going for community over prestige, and platform and freedom over a platform. So anyway, just some top stuff there. And then she said, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. So you have to actually get to know who you are, who me is, and what do you actually want? What do you want in your life? What kind of growth do you want in your life? Not what kind of gets do you want in your life? And she also talked about, a lot of times they're like, oh, well, I can't give back in this way because I don't have money enough to do that. And she said, basically, you don't have to have money to give. You have your voice, you have your story, you have your experiences, you have so much more to give people than you're giving yourself credit for. And she also talked about, keeping your mind on where you're going, not where you are. So, eye on the prize, constant. But to do that, you have to define what the goal is. So where are you actually going? And once you know that, you can work your way back from there. So if your end goal with Young Living is Royal Crown Diamond, you know the mechanics that go into that, because we have the compensation plan that shows all of that. You figure out, okay, if I need those 6 legs at whatever OGV a month, work back from there. What are your legs at now? What's the distance you have to go? Do you need more legs? So her thing is just to look at it, define the goal first, and then define the steps to get there, and connect the 2 dots, where you are and where you're going, and what's all the middle goodies that have to get you there. Let's see, who else did I mark down here? Okay, Erin Rogers. She was talking about being an employee or an entrepreneur, and how we're trained our whole lives to be employees, and someone tells us what we need to do to measure up to their level of success. So a lot of times people get into this business and they are stuck because they don't know how to be an entrepreneur. They don't know how to run their own business, like Krista mentioned. People don't usually come at this with the CEO mindset. They come at it with an employee mindset, or I've never worked in a job my whole life mindset. And so they don't know where to start. But we have to look at where our motivation is coming from. Is it external or is it internally? External motivation would be stuff that's handed down from a boss. So what your boss is telling you to do, he's motivating you with money. If you do this job well, you will get paid this much. Internal motivation is your own personal drive to do something. So we need to be focusing as entrepreneurs with our businesses here, our CEO mindset. What is our internal drive to do a good job on this? Obviously, it still could be money, because Young Living pays us for doing a good job and sharing with other people. But it should go beyond that. It should be more of a drive than just money, because it goes back to the growth. What ways do you want to grow in your life? So she talked about how if someone else is setting your goals for you and you're not paying attention, that's going to be what's continues to drive you. And you actually have to figure out what your own internal motivation is instead. Let's see, what else did I mark here? Oh, she also said, quit setting the stage for things and just do it. So don't plan a time for that call or that video or that meeting. Just pick up your phone, go live, and get it done. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. I know Krista doesn't do contents on Saturdays, And this Saturday worked out well for me to get on here because I don't have anything to do at the moment. And so here I am. I'm just live and I'm getting it done. And people will watch it later whenever they wake up. That's cool. She also said something that's kind of unrelated. Well, no, it's still related to her talk, but I thought this was great because as you grow as a leader and as your organization grows, you're going to get more people under you, more people asking questions, more people needing your time. She said if someone asks the same question 3 times, record a video, put it on your team page, and leave it there. And then when you hear the question come up again from somebody new, tag them in that video. And I was like, yes, totally. Genius. I love it. So think about just in general, like all the things that you normally answer for people. Like everybody asks, what about our central rewards? What does this mean to me? What about this on the virtual office? If you're getting the same questions all the time, that's when it might be time to just make a video out of it, put it on your team page or a YouTube page, which is super easy to set up, and tag somebody on it or send somebody to it. That way you have maximized your time. You've already done that work ahead of time. You could have made that video 2 years ago and you're getting that question. You're like, oh, actually I have a video for that. I'll send that to you. And why this works is because people still like to hear the information from you. This is what I've learned over the past 2 years. Even though I might be presenting the same exact info as Joe Schmo down the street, because people have a relationship to me, they want to hear it from me. So that's why videos are so effective, because people want to hear it in your voice, with your hand motions, with your stupid highlighter that you're holding. And they want to hear the info directly from you because they like you. They like you. They want to hear what you have to say and how you feel about an issue. So anyway, record those videos. If you keep getting the same questions, record a video, put it on your team page, put it on your YouTube, whatever, tag people in it, send people to it, because you already did that work. They can watch you talk about it in a video. Super easy. All right, the last thing here, because I have no idea how long I've been talking for, but that's okay. If you're really interested, you've made it to this point. And my 5th speaker that I enjoyed was Lindsey Moreno. And she talked about living authentically, connecting intentionally, and how trust matters more than anything when it comes to sales. It matters more than a sexy lifestyle, more than cool shoes, more than a glamorous life. All the people that you see on their Instagram feed that, you know, have super posed shots and super edited photos, people really don't react to that as well as people hope that it's gonna work out for them. But the trust is what matters more than anything. So she had, I think, 8 points here, and I'm gonna read all these because I loved her talk. I thought it was great. It's been helping me decide how to structure some of the things that some of the things that I am working on myself and the videos that I'm gonna make. But her number 1 was be unafraid to be alone. And what she meant by that is seek out ways to stand out that are seek out ways to stand out, because unexpected and unconventional equals unforgettable. And I loved that. I thought that was really great. So unexpected plus unconventional equals unforgettable. Number 2 was connection through imperfection, and that's what a couple other speakers had to hit on as well. But this is what makes us feel like we're alike. So here I am on Saturday without my makeup. I finally got 2 viewers on this video. I had been talking to myself already for 15 minutes. Now I have 2 viewers, and this is just me from the morning. I did brush my hair, but that's all I haven't even brushed my teeth this morning, guys. I just threw a sweatshirt on so I wasn't cold up in my office, but I got my jammy pants on right now. And that's my life. That's my normal Saturday. So connect through the imperfection, because that's what makes us feel like we're alike. That's what makes people feel like they can do what you're doing. Number 3 of Lindsey Moreno's was stop judging your authentic voice. And there's lots of stuff out there. People talk about authenticity and your voice and your truth. Well, I don't get into that, but she did hit on something that was interesting to me, because we do all come into this with our own baggage and our own skills and our own life before Young Living. But she said, whose voice is telling you things that are holding your back? Whose voice is telling you things that are holding you back? So is that your mom's voice? Is that a teacher's voice? Is that even like your spouse's voice? Your own voice? Like anytime you're getting ready to do something, like maybe before you hit go on a live video, who is it in your head that's saying, you can't do that? Nobody wants to listen to what you're saying. That's stupid. Who cares? Whose voice is that? Because whatever that is running through your mind, maybe you're going to identify that that's somebody from your past that you've got some unresolved issues with. Maybe that's your own voice because nobody has spoken confidence into your own skills and how you just really bring something to the table. So going through kind of an exercise just to find out who that is and try to squash that and deal with that can really help you move past that, past the things that are holding you back. Number 4, Lindsey Moreno said, listen to your intuition. If it feels off, it's not authentic for you, or you might just need practice. So that's something that you're actually not going to figure out until you've tried to do something a couple times. So if I was trying to get on here, I'll give you an example. If I was trying to get on here and say, yeah, guys, these products for pets are amazing. I can't believe how well this, I don't even know what the pet products are, guys. I can't believe how well this oil works for a dog's skin issues. Okay, I actually had a hard time even coming up with that example because it's not authentic for me. I don't have pets. I really have not taken the time to memorize the pet line because I don't need to know it. So why would I get on here and do a video about pet products when I don't have pets? I really don't care about pets. And so obviously I can connect people to that, people who do have pets, say, hey, go check out the pet line. But I don't have to be an expert on that because that's not me. And that shouldn't be me because people will see right through that. They'll be like, okay, well, why does Jill, why does she think she has so much authority on pets? Because she doesn't even have any pets. What's she talking about? So it's all about talking about the things that are already authentic for you. So the other products I'm using, the stuff that I'm diffusing, the supplements that I'm taking, those are the things I should be focusing on. Now, she did mention you might just need practice. So I will say, if I decided, okay, I've honed in on my product lines, so maybe I'm only going to talk about oils and supplements. Just because the first time I do a video is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not authentic. So there's a big difference between being authentic and being uncomfortable. So if I know back and forth, I know everything about supplements you could possibly know, and I'm just really nervous about doing it, that's different than authenticity because I do know what I'm talking about with my supplements that I'm taking and the oils that I'm using. And so I can talk about them authentically. It just might not be super comfortable the first couple times I do a video about that. So that's a difference there. All right. Number 5 point for Lindsey Moreno was prioritize creative time. So she said you need to have 5 things that you always talk about. So making a list of these are the top 5 things that are authentic for me to talk about. And that way, when people come to you or they come to your channel or they come to your Facebook wall or your Instagram post, whatever, people will come for 4 of those, and the 5th one of those should be Young Living. So we're talking about outside of the Young Living realm, I guess. Number 1 could be Young Living stuff. 2 through 5 need to be other things in your daily life that you're always talking about. That could still be exercise or healthy eating or whatever else, reading, all the other hobbies or interests that you have. Because people will come for 4 of those and they'll stay for the 5th and they'll hear about how Young Living is fitting into the rest of those. So that's great. Number 6 was define your personal and business values and how your regular personality should be transferred to your brand in your business. So that's something that I had already mentioned before too, and that's what I'm continually trying to develop as well is, you really shouldn't be doing stuff that's not you. It comes back to the authenticity. You should be doing stuff that fits into who you already are because that's what shows people that you can do this and succeed. Number 7, she actually don't know what this came out of, but she said, I like you plus you like me plus we are alike equals we are a tribe. And so a lot of people are out there talk about, finding your tribe and being part of a group. Basically, it's that inclusion mindset. It's that, hey, I'm screwed up in this way too. Let's talk. Let's be friends. So just back to that connection with your audience. And number 8 point that she had was write like you speak. And I just had this conversation with somebody the other day, because when we're speaking, we are continually like making conjunction, we're leaving words out, we're making completely run-on sentences. I don't know if I've had a period in this talk the whole time, but when you're writing something, people, when people read something that you've written, they should hear it in your voice. So if you've been speaking a certain way your whole life, there's really no way to write prim and proper for social media, because the point of social media is communicating, and people should be able to start reading a post that you've written and hear it in your voice. So I love that, because I've been trying to do that, and sometimes it feels weird. And of course you can go back in and edit what you've written so it's a little more grammatically correct, so people can actually read it easier. But she talked about just kind of having an exercise where you speak into your phone, or you would do a speech to text app that writes out everything you've spoken. And that way you can see, the kind of flow of how you operate when you communicate, and then just use that. So I love that, write like you speak. And the very last point here that I'll make is, she said, it's about knowing your customer and letting them know you too. So it's really not good enough anymore for us to just know what our customer wants. That's obviously very important. We should obviously be asking people who order through us, what are you into? What are you interested? What are your health goals? So that we can help steer them to the right products for them. But it's also about them getting to know us as a product user and as a leader and as a helpful information source. So we have to get out there in all those different ways so that they know who we are, because they want to know who they're ordering from as well. And I guarantee, guys, the people who have ordered from you already, however many or little that is, those people already had a relationship with you. So I have rarely met anyone in my organization that I personally signed up that didn't already know me and like me from some other aspect or avenue of my life. So anyway, it's all about those relationships. And I will have other videos about relationships and your story and all that kind of stuff too at a later date. But those are my top 5 speakers, top 5 speaker takeaways from Diamond Bound. I hope that's helpful to you. I am really excited for everybody that's in here going through the 90-day hustle that Krista has put together. I am super looking forward to this, because I need a kick in the butt too. And it's up to me to be successful. So I've decided that this is part of my secret to my success over the next 90 days is going through this hustle with you guys, just like you, because I might be a gold, but lately I've been operating kind of on a star mentality. Just been kind of chugging along. So I need this too. I need a reminder as to, why am I doing this? Get refreshed, get back at it. And if I want to go for diamond, then that's going to be my goal. If I want to go for platinum, then that's going to be my goal. But such a great reminder to all of us that we need this. It's kind of like a team sport. Like, you do it by yourself, but it's always great to have some awesome friends or some awesome group that's pushing right along with you. So looking forward to the rest of this. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.